Hello, beautiful viewers. You are welcome to the newspaper review here on Top TV. My name is William Sabule, and with me on the program today is Mr. Victor Sioku.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome to the
Thank you,
program.
sir.
Well, if this is the first time you're seeing this video, well, you are welcome to the place where you get informed about the headlines across newspapers around Nigeria, and we get to analyze these headlines here on the program. You can also be a part of this. How will you do that? Drop your comments and your reactions, and don't also forget to subscribe to this channel because we do this every other day, getting you informed about the happenings around you. As far as it is reported on our newspapers, you get to hear it here on the program. So drop your comments and your reactions on the comment section. Would love to know what you think about the headlines we'll be reading out to you shortly. So let's go and begin with the headlines. But before we do that, Mr. Victor, I'm going to ask you, how was your weekend?
It was a good one.
Yeah.
And, man, I really enjoyed my weekend.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
But I had fun too over the weekend, even though I didn't rest so much. But then all the activities I had to engage in was really fun. And yesterday night I had to watch, the presidential town hall meeting organized by Arise TV, and I watched that until I slept off. It dragged for quite a while. I slept off, and then today it's a new day and a new week of a lot of possibilities. Are you ready for the new week? We are ready for you. So let's go straight ahead and see what the headlines look like within the last 24 hours. All right, on this day newspaper here, we'll begin, and it says here, Kenyatta, no government can address all Nigeria's problems, says reinventing the wheel, a challenge that must be addressed, declares continuity, succession plan critical to development. Ministerial retreat has helped to keep us in check, Buhari posits there. All right, that's detail you find on page 5 of this day newspaper. Moving on to other headlines here on this day, it says here, Tinubu, Atiku is jittery. He knows I'll win 2023 presidential poll. You'll find details of that on page 42 of this day newspaper. As the main headline here, it says, at Arise Presidential Town Hall Series, candidates lay out agendas. Kwankwanso, military personnel grossly inadequate. Obi, we will ensure prudent management of resources. Atiku, Nigeria is working for everybody. No one will want out. If Nigeria is working for everybody, no one will want out. Abiola Buhari's underutilization of NSA's office escalated security. Quite an interesting headline there coming out as a result of the town hall kind of interaction that was held yesterday or organized by Arise TV yesterday. It was quite an interesting one. Do well to pick up a copy of These Days to get details of all that happened during that, interaction. So, Mr. Victor, I'm going to come to you because that's all the headline we can take from These Day newspaper, though. So let me ask you straight up, did you watch the town hall series?
I had a bit of it.
Okay.
And I noticed one thing as usual. And most Nigerians are talking about it.
Yeah.
The absence of Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC,
Yeah.
of the ruling party. So he's taking same steps that the president,
the current president took before getting into office. Yeah.
And the president, mind you, he took those parts and he also won. Maybe he's feeling
very confident.
Very confident. Yes, that's the right word. Very confident that if he toes this part, he will also win. But look at the issues, which I think it is so insulting, and they don't care about they don't really care about the reactions of Nigerians, because this alone will tell people that, see you, we're not going to vote for this person that we are not even that is not available when needed. Okay, he chooses where to go. So what happened yesterday? There are strong reports that he was very close to the venue, as in Bola Ahmed Tinubu was very close to the venue, but because he was attending a friend's birthday party. So you ask the question, coming for a debate and attending a friend's birthday party, which one should be top on the bottom
priority? Yeah.
Now, yes, Atiku did not also make himself available. He sent Okowa.
He reached out. He reached out to the organizers and explained why he wouldn't be able to make it. He was out of the country, and he sent his deputy.
Okay.
And they, once the organizers approved that the deputy could represent him, well, he appeared on the program.
Yes. But for the APC, Oga, no come. Oga, younger brother, no
No
come.
come.
And there was nothing tangible about why they did not
They not
make it
show up,
there.
yeah.
Yes, there were also some, just like you mentioned about Okowa, the VP candidate of the PDP, was there. But yes, he still had some some
A lot of
fights.
people were like, okay, you
Yes.
cannot represent your principal. He has to be here in person. And that caused a lot of roar at some point, and the program was stalled for some few minutes before, normalcy was brought in, and then they continued.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
go on.
So going forward, the discussion itself, yes, we had 4 candidates,
Yeah.
or 4 parties being represented. Okay, we had the ADC of the what's his name?
PRP.
No, from
Kwankwaso, is it?
No, Kwankwaso is
NMPP, yeah.
But we also had
PRP. That's
what's his name?
Abiola.
Abiola,
Yeah.
Abiola there for PRP. Then we had the PDP being represented by Okowa, and we had a Labour Party presidential candidate, that's P2B. We find out that why is it that you ask the question, why is it that P2B does not fail
to attend
coming for such interactions? And that's to tell you that he is looking at being miles away from these persons when it comes to being with the people. Yes, he might have his faults here and there, okay, but when it comes to bringing himself to the people, he is really showing it. Some persons might be like, this is it is a drama. Maybe he's playing all this out. Just maybe when he gets to seats, if he gets to the seat, that he might change. Okay, but yes, it's also good to note people's will I say, their timelines before getting into a position, so that you can hold them accountable. What is happening to Nigeria is that our president do not give a damn, and he does not care about what's happening. Look at what has happened about our FX, our foreign exchange.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, you saw how it spiked. A pound now goes for 1,005 naira.
Yeah.
In a sane country, the president will come out and
to address,
address to the people.
Tell Nigerians why this is happening, and encourage them to be patient, that it's just a phase, we're going to pass through this. But that's not happening.
That is the kind of leadership we need to have in this country, because our president, our leaders, go so silent. Once they are in there, they only come out the next 4 years to preach again. But even look at what just happened too. Even to come out and debate among
your peers,
you won't be found. But if it's about coming out printing billboards and spending the monies, you come first. So it's also discouraging.
It is.
From the persons that do not participate.
Yeah.
Okay. But down to the details, I love what Kwankwaso said, okay, when he was talking about security.
Yeah.
Okay. He made mention that the government has not been really putting in so much effort in taking care of the security. He made mention of community policing. We've been talking that for decades.
For long, yeah.
Why don't we try it and see? It's better that we've tried it than it does not work. Okay? Let's try it. Because you cannot, just like we say, you cannot bring, like for my community itself, you cannot bring a Yoruba man to come and man positions in my community. They will do him at
Yeah. It will take a long time. It will take a long time for him to get used to the environment, get used to the culture and traditions, because all of that also matters in the way you investigate crimes and how you relate with the people. All of these things matters. But if you're dealing with someone from that same place, because he grew up in that community, he can tell or sense the group of persons that did whatever crime that is being examined. So yes, community policing will go a long way to solving most of the insecurity issues we have. But in terms of implementation, it's taking such a long time for the federal government to look into that matter and bring it on board. But I feel strongly that whichever government that succeeds in bringing it on board would have gone a long way in dealing with the issue of insecurity. Yeah,
exactly. Then we talked about the economy in general, which P2B will always tell you. See, it is about like what you mentioned, that this oil term that we are feeling right now, that the government is fully part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now he made mention of something. Why would the ship come into our shores without we noticing that this kind of ship is coming into our shores. What then happens? He said that some government officials, they will give the approval to remove the sensors of these ships, turn it off, so that these ships will enter. Then when they go out, they turn on the sensors. Meaning that, well, with what he said, I don't know the kind of magic he's going to use, because at the end of the day, the presidency will not from Aso Rock and be manning what will happen at the creeks of the Niger Delta. Are you getting me? So I don't know which saints and angels that he will put in place, that when challenges like that come, when they are being offered fat checks, that they will be able to say no.
No, we're not doing it.
Allow this.
We're not doing it because Peter Obi is in office.
Yes. So mind you, that would be really
tough call.
Like, it will be
very tough
even
call.
if you carry Christ and put as the head of affairs in this country, you still need this soldier. You still need these foot soldiers to play their own role. What do you need to do? If you ask me, put in laws, stringent laws and punishment. I mean, very strong punishment.
Soldier, the journey towards redemption of this country, it's a long mile. But I think the way I look at it, we need to start from somewhere. But nevertheless, we need to start from somewhere. And that somewhere is this 2023 general elections, where if we get it right, the journey may just have started. And with time, but I think I understand what you're saying. Even if Peter Obi is in office today and he's very prudent, he's very organized, he's very economical, he's very, geared up to get things right, the rot in the system is so deep that it will take him a lot of time. If given the time, it will take him a lot of time to fix the system. And it's a tough call for any of the candidates that will end up in office, because Nigerians' expectations at this time is so high that whoever makes it to office will work without sleeping to ensure that some of these expectations, I don't ever think that any government starting from now will be able to meet the expectations of Nigeria, but at least let them start and let's begin to feel some changes that we hope that other administrations afterwards will be able to capitalize on and do better. Well, then lastly, you can just give a brief analysis of the PDP candidate, because he also, spoke about a few things.
Yes, just like his boss, they always talk about unifying the nation. Okay. Also, they also mentioned the way they will use, they will treat police. Although security now, everybody is talking about community policing. Even the president, if you go and ask Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he will still bring community police. Just like in the election of 2015, it was about unifying the country. It was about restructuring. Yes, everybody came with both the PDP that never restructured came in 2015. They were using the same slogan, restructure. The APC that we thought that we are just going to get in there and restructure everything. They did not restructure anything. Yeah. So yes, I believe they are using the same manifesto. At the end of the day, they are using almost the same manifesto.
But all the documents are very similar in terms of what they plan to do.
Yes, so it's not now about calling out professors to come and help you, guide you on what to talk or what to write. It is not about implementing them. So that's why I tell Nigerians, you should look out for character right now. It should be about character. Yes,
because these documents or these plans to better Nigeria, with everything they've been saying, have been there. But if you look properly, there has never been maybe up to 50% implementation of all of these things. So year in, year after, they come and tell you the same thing, that we're going to consolidate on, this government. We're also going to do this and this, or better this effort. But they say these things, and once they are in the office, no implementation. So you're right when you say, look out for characters that have integrity, that are ready to implement, that in time past have been able to say and do. Not say and say and say, brainwash people, make them feel like, okay, we have arrived. And they live in this sort of limbo where they are expecting some miracle because they saw an angel. But the angel doesn't ever deliver the goodies. And that's where we have been for 8 years now. I keep saying it, and Buhari's administration is winding up. And the next set of people are here again. They're saying, we're going to consolidate, we're going to this, it's very troubling and disturbing. But so far, I think the PDP candidate in person of Governor Okowa representing Atiku. He spoke well when he spoke about security too. He was not just talking about security. He was giving, proper. He was kind of like letting us into how he was going to do it. He talked about oil surveillance and all of that, how to curb oil theft, because Mr. Peter Obi also talked about the fact that this oil theft is being encouraged and done by high-powered people in government, and if you listen to or if you analyze it properly, you will understand that he is not far from the truth, because stealing oil in huge ships and away from our borders. I mean, how is that possible? Is it that Nigerian borders are so porous that things come in and go out without us knowing? So you get to know that, yes, government is also involved in this theft and all of that. So, yes, Governor Kowa was able to, give Nigerians a preview of what they would do. And for me, it was quite an interesting discourse for all of them. They all did well, everybody giving their best, which I think it's a good fora that Nigerians, we should have more of this before the elections. And you talked about the APC candidate that, somehow didn't show up at the event. For me, it seemed very disrespectful for your employer calling you to an interview and saying, come, I want to know what you have for me. And you bluff him and you say, I'm not coming, man. I have it planned out. When I get into your office, into your company, I know how to change this. Just, you don't know what you want. Just stay. That is so disrespectful. And Nigerians, I hope they are watching, because in as much as the program doesn't have any consequences against people that will not appear, if we are in a system that works, there should be, it should be a red flag saying that, okay, it's either this man doesn't have what to offer me or he doesn't see me as important. So, you begin to think what to do next. So this is the right time to actually look at character, like you said, and also look at the best fit for the position. So it's up to Nigerians to decide. All right, we're going to move on to our next paper, and that will be the Nigerian Tribune for today, the 7th of November, 2022. It looks like I didn't mention that date from the beginning, but today is the 7th of November, and that's the papers we are looking at. So we're going to go into Nigerian Tribune, and we start with PDP, APC, LP in throes of candidates. Disqualification, Taraba, Rivers, Ogun, Kaduna affected. All right, if you need to get details, it's on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Also, we see at Arise TV show, at Arise TV town hall meeting, Tinubu absent. Okowa represents Atiku as Obi, Kwankwaso, Abiola speak on security, economy. Details is on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Coming downwards, we see 1,000 out of 3,000 medical doctors leave Nigeria every year. Federal government, that's on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune. We see here Delta provides health insurance package for 25,000 flood victims. Moving on to the main headline, it says federal government can't be rigid with no work, no pay policy for universities. Committee of Vice Chancellors speaking, and details is on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Government must pay lecturers same way striking doctors were paid. Falana reacting to the no work, no pay policy for universities. Other stories here with the NDLEA recovers hard drugs, arrests 2 wanted kickpins, 1 blind Nigerian, son. Page 26 is where you'll find the details. We also see here a picture of the plane that crashed in Tanzania in the water. It's a very sad story where 19 lives were lost. The good news is that we also had some survivors. So the headline for that picture says 24 survive, 19 die in Tanzanian plane crash. Details is on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. And last, I'll take this one. Military rockets kill ISWAP consultation chiefs at Lake Chad. Details on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. All right, before we go into the discourse of the main headline, I'm just going to say that our heart goes out to the families that lost their lives, persons and families that lost loved ones in that crash. It's a very sad thing. Whenever this kind of accidents happen, It's always not a good gist for anybody. I mean, it's not a good thing to lose lives the way it has been lost. Our heart goes out to everyone out there in Tanzania. All right, Mr. Victor, I'd like you to address this issue of no work, no pay policy for university lecturers. Federal government, they are at it again with these lecturers. And this time, the lecturers are beginning to clap back, and they're saying that the federal government should come through as with their salary because they have suffered enough. And, threats are beginning to pour out that if they don't, they might go back to striking. How do you react to that story?
Very tough one on the part of the lecturers.
Yeah,
okay?
they've been
Because,
through a lot.
Man, Oh man,
They've sacrificed a lot. Yeah.
So imagine lecturers that are being paid 150,000 naira. That's we are looking at just around $150. $150.
Yeah.
So sorry.
It's horrible. It's a sad thing.
You are just even down. That the loads, the backlog of expenses that you have.
You even managed to survive the 7 months because it's been terrible. And mind you, the economy wasn't biting any less. It was really tough. Even for people that have been earning monthly, it was still tough for them because things kept rising. And then now they're back at work and you're saying, it's disturbing.
So you're expecting 150,000 at the end of the month. Lo and behold, you receive 75,000 there.
And you're expected to go back to class.
So troubling. Troubling.
It is.
So what is happening right now is that many branches of ASU that's in different universities are now calling for meetings. Some are saying that they will not strike.
But they won't be teaching.
Or they won't teach. Some are saying they will not even come to school. They will just do sit-at-home protest. But on the other hand, you have the other union, that's the CONUA, CONUA, that was established or registered, rather, that was registered by the Minister of Labour, Dr. Chris Ngige, during all this fiasco. Now, they came out, their spokesperson came out to say that their own salaries will be paid, and it will be paid in full. Reason, because that they did not go on strike. You find that kind of division, the kind of quagmire and infighting that will just happen in our universities. Let them just start the session afresh. Are you getting me? Because the government, they want these lecturers to go back to school, teach the backlogs of stuff that they are supposed to do, conduct exams. For me, even for the students, yes, some students will be crying that they are taking so much time to graduate. But what about incapacity?
Yeah.
Are you going to learn? You will not learn those things. No matter how fast they try to jam-pack everything on your head, you will not get the best.
And that's not what anybody wants.
Yes.
Because I think going to the university is not for show-off.
No.
It is to gain capacity intellectually.
Yes, at the end of the day, you see that time, you even have the time.
Yeah.
Those 4 or 5 years that you are crying,
it will still come
by the
and
time
pass.
you come out after you service, the way in 5 years will just happen.
It's so true.
You'll be shocked.
Yeah, it's so true.
So I think going forward, if the presidency, if they don't want to pay that money, they should just start a new session.
And then I feel the lecturers doesn't deserve the treatment they are getting. They don't deserve it, in as much as I'm not encouraging or I'm not in support of more strike, but I'm also advocating fairness in all of this. Whatever they were fighting for was not for their good, for their personal good alone. It was for the good of the collective. If you look at their demands for a better university structure and all of that, infrastructurally and academically, you will notice that all of that is not for no lecturer will say that he's carrying one of the buildings in the university to his house because it is his house. Whatever they are demanding was meant for Nigerians, young Nigerians, to develop properly and match up to their peers abroad. So this is something that is supposed to come naturally from our leaders and our politicians and the people in power. But they are not doing it. So force the lecturers to go out and say, okay, we are going to sacrifice our salaries. We're going to sacrifice whatever we do, and we're going to sit at home and say, until you guys respond to this. And now they have done that, they are being punished. It is so unreasonable on the part of the Minister for Labor. I don't understand how he's handling this. I don't understand why he's trying to create more chaos in the system that has managed to try to, get back to normalcy. And then you're dragging by, what will that half cut of their salary do for you as a government? How much can it really solve as the government? So you see why I say that why punish these people and cause more confusion? Because they are humans and they have minds, active minds, and they know exactly what because for the strike to have dragged for the length that it did, it tells you that it has the people handling it from the government angle were either being unnecessarily stubborn or believe that the lecturers don't deserve what they're asking for. And now they have dragged until they are in this place. And then you want to take them back in time. And they're ready to go they have seen the worst in 7 months of not being paid or salary. Don't you think that some of them would have even lost their minds?
Yes.
And so now you're taking them back to where you're going to fight a madman's fight. You two, you should be ready to be mad now. They are already telling you that we don't mind. We want to go crazy with them.
Yes.
And so, it's quite unnecessary. The government should have sympathy. We should have governments that are empathic and sympathetic before, because the government that we have don't care. They don't care. If not, this I don't expect to hear this kind of thing again. I expect that they should pay them and plan they should pay them the backlog of salaries and then continue. But that's not the case at the moment. It's quite unfortunate. Exactly. All right, we're going to move on to our next paper, and that will be our last paper for today. But we need to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to jump into that paper with the headlines for today, the 7th of November, 2022. You stay tuned. We'll be right back. Now that you have registered for your PVC, it doesn't stop there. Ensure you pick up your PVC. Be alert. Join many Nigerians to vote credible leaders that will change the tide of this nation. Do not sell your vote. Remember, this is our future. Your vote is your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
All right, welcome back from that short break. We're still here on the Newspaper Review. Don't forget that you can also be a part of this program by dropping your comments and your reactions on the comment section. Would love to hear what you think about the headlines we've been, talking about and also reading out to you. Please drop your comments. Let's see what you think about these headlines. All right, we'll move on to our last paper for today, and that will be Vanguard for the 7th of November, 2022. And on Vanguard here, we have as headlines, withheld salaries, how Minister ASU boss personalities clashes aggravating situation. Okowa Omoagege trade words over pensioners protest in Delta. Story on page 12. The first story is on page 13, and this one is on page 12. So do well to read up the details of that story. We'll move on to the main headlines on the Vanguard. It says here, federal government pushing manufacturers' orders out of existence. That's coming from the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN. And we also have NECA, NASIMA orders complaining there. Right under that, we see reject planned increase in excise duty for food, beverages. Orders say over 17 bills pending at National Assembly to impose levies on businesses. Notes rising production cost, epileptic power supply insecurity, access to money, to financing, multiple taxation, compounding woes. Details is on page 5 of the Vanguard. And then I'll go downwards. It says here, transmission, upload of results. Political parties, CSOs tackle INEC over public view of polling results. Page 7 is where you get details of that story. Power generation peaks at 4,735.1 megawatt. Get details on page 7 of the Vanguard. All right, Mr. Victor, let me just throw this question at you. It's concerning the main headline here on Vanguard about the manufacturers. What do you think of that story?
Tough times, man. Tough times. As it's happening to university lecturers, happening to manufacturers, health workers, name them. What are the issues for manufacturers right now? Well, the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria have come out to cry. What are they crying about? 13 bills are being sponsored, in the National Assembly that we collect from manufacturers and not to give them. They made mention of the food and beverage industry, which you know that the food and beverage industry mines 33% of our manufacturing in this country. meaning anything evil, I'll use the word evil, that they do to them, it will affect the economy in general. Now, they want to levy them once more with respect to excise duty.
Yeah.
Then we ask, is it not the same company that when their products are leaving their factories to go for delivery, that they fall on vehicles, that their
Bad
trailers
roads.
and the tankers fall, and they despite, look at the other day I went to Asaba from Port Harcourt, my brother. You see trailers falling. Is it petrol? They're on the ground. Is it the brewery company? Their trailers on the ground. Name them. Tiles. How can a container with what
Loaded with
millions
tiles,
of tiles, the container will fall. The other time it was a toilet seat. How can the smallest shift or quake from a container carrying those products, it will just damage.
And this is as a result of the bad state of our roads. Yeah.
Bad state of the roads. Okay, now, how do you now expect them? Okay, what about power? We know that these guys are spending crazy on diesel. So they are spending on diesel. Their roads, their vehicles are bad. The roads are bad because of the bad. Their vehicles are bad because of the bad roads. What about security? They go ahead to pay for their own security.
Yeah.
How much are they now making? What is there in the profit again? At the same time, they still have issues with community, because community will also come.
I mean, look at the case of Dangote and Obajana.
Okay.
Yeah,
the environment is so unconducive.
So toxic for these manufacturers.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of foreign manufacturing companies have left the shores.
Sure.
In Port Harcourt here, we can tell how many manufacturing companies left. Even now, I doubt if we have anyone within the state here,
sure.
because of the very toxic environment. You know, these things are these are issues that the government already are aware of.
They know.
But I don't know why they ignore it to want to mount more pressure on these manufacturers, which is very unreasonable if you ask me. Because these are part of the things that we need for our economy to blossom. And if they keep mounting pressure and killing manufacturers, we become more dependent on importation. And these are some of the things that we're saying, that we should cut our importation drive and begin to produce. I don't even know if at this point in time Nigeria even exports any products. We are almost 100% dependent on imports and all of that. Consumption are to the level that is beginning to kill us. So I don't know why the government is not encouraging some kind of these manufacturers to be, let our economy be more of a production economy than a consumption one. But unfortunately, from what we hear from the papers, it just tells you that that's not going to happen anytime soon. And before this Manufacturing Association of Nigeria begin to cry out, that's to tell you that, all right, they are beginning to think otherwise. Now, what might happen is these guys moving out to other African countries that are close to Nigeria and manufacture in an enabling environment and beginning to, export back into Nigeria, which is not good for us. That's not what we need. We need an enabling environment for our economy to thrive and manufacturers to do their thing. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Victor. Let's draw the curtain here today. And to our viewers, thank you. Thank you so much for staying with us up to this time. Don't forget to drop your comments and your reactions on the comment section. We'd really love to hear what you think about these headlines. And also follow us on all our social media handles. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and also on Twitter. So do well to join us on all of this platform. Until next time I come your way again, my name is William Sabule, and this has been the Newspaper Review on TAF TV.